for the start, you can come down onto your back and you can choose here how you want to lay down. If you want to extend your arms and legs, if you want to bring your feet to the ground, you can place your hands maybe on your body, maybe next to you. And then let's start by taking a deep breath. Allow your body to really sink into the ground here for a moment. And then bring your awareness to your breath and just notice how your breath is moving today. How's your breath moving? And then let's take a few deep belly breaths from here. So allow your inhales to go all the way down to your belly. Allowing your belly to rise and fall with every breath. And notice how your body is reacting to this. What is happening in your body while you're deepening your breath? And then let's take one deep breath in through the nose. And sigh it out through the mouth. And then from here you can extend your left leg forward and hug your right knee into your chest. And if possible, keep your shoulders relaxed on the ground. And you can choose here if you want to just hold your knee here for a moment, or if you maybe want to find a little movement by moving your knee from side to side. And if you find that movement, see if you can move it in a way that you feel your leg moving its hip socket. So you really feel that movement there. And at the same time, keep your breath flowing. Feel that stretch or that movement in your hip. Then bring it back to center. You can bring your hands behind your right thigh. Maybe interlace your fingers here. And then see if you can straighten your leg here as far as possible. And then bend it again. And then you can find this little movement here. And you can find your own pace here as well. Maybe you want to move it a little bit more dynamic. Maybe you want to move very slowly. Maybe with every time you extend your leg, you want to also pull your leg a little bit closer. One more breath here. And then you can leave your leg as extended as possible right now and just start to roll your ankle. Move your foot here, drawing some circles. First into one direction and then switch to the other side. And then from here, gently release your leg and stretch it back out and draw your left knee into your chest. And then again, if possible, keep your shoulders on the ground. Allow your body to stay as relaxed as possible here. And then you can either just stay here in stillness for a moment, just holding your knee in, Or maybe you want to find that little movement again, moving your knee from side to side to feel the movement of your leg in its hip socket. Stay connected to your breath again. And see if you can keep your awareness in your body. Maybe in the stretch that you're feeling right now. And then bring your knee back to center. Bring your hands behind your left thigh, maybe interlacing your fingers. And then you can start to straighten your left leg as far as possible. And then bend it again. And then find your own rhythm here again. And maybe you want to move your leg a little bit closer towards you with every straightening. And it might be that this side feels very different from the other side. Just notice that. One more breath here. And then keep your leg as extended as possible right now. And start to draw some circles with your left ankle. First into one direction. And then let's switch direction. Turn your ankle the other way. And then from here you can gently release it again. And then let's bring both of the feet onto the ground, close to your body, approximately hip width apart. And then let's just take a moment here to really bring the feet into the ground, maybe spreading out the toes a little bit more, pressing into your feet. Also bring your lower back all the way into the ground. And then from here you can bring some pressure into your heels and then lift your hips up for your bridge pose. And then you can decide if you want to either keep your arms where they are, or maybe you want to interlace your fingers underneath your body and move your shoulder blades a little bit closer together. And then keep pressing into your heels and lift your hips upward. And then take a few deep breaths here. Notice all the muscles that are working here in the back side of your body, that little lengthening that you're feeling in the front side of your body. One more inhale here, lift your hips a little bit higher. And then release your hands if you have them interlaced, and then vertebra by vertebra, roll your back onto the ground again. And hug your knees back into your chest. And then you can bring your hands behind your thighs and take a little rock forward so you can come all the way onto your sitting bones. Then from here, cross your legs and roll it over your knees onto your hands and knees. And then from here, bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, spread your fingers out wide. And then find some engagement in your core. So you can activate your core muscles here, draw your navel in, Maybe bring a little bit more pressure into your hands. And then tuck your toes under and lift your knees only 1 centimeter off the ground. So finding this little hover here. See if you can keep your back long, keep pressing into your hands. Keep drawing your navel in. Keep your breath flowing. 1 more inhale here. And then with your exhale, gently bring your hips up and find your downward facing dog. And then feel free to maybe move your dog. Maybe you want to bend your knees, pedaling out your feet, maybe swaying your hips. And whenever it feels good, you can sigh it out through the mouth. Then from here, with your next inhale, you can lift your right leg up. And then bend your right knee and see if you can open your hips here, stacking your right hip on top of your left hip. And then keep pressing evenly into both of your hands and see if you can keep your shoulders parallel. So you really just find that opening in your hip. One more inhale here. And then with your exhale, step your right foot all the way between your hands. Then move your hands over to the left side of your foot, on the inside of your foot. And you can either stay here, or maybe you want to lower your forearms down to the ground to find a lizard lunge. And for this variation, see if you can keep your right knee over your right ankle. And then you can decide if you want to stay here in stillness or maybe you want to add a little movement again. Maybe moving your hips a little bit from side to side. Again, allowing your breath to flow here. Maybe you want to send your breath into the stretch that you're feeling here. Take 1 more breath here. And then slowly come back up onto your hands if you are on your forearms. And then from here, move your hips back. Start to straighten your right knee. You can also move your hands a little bit more back, maybe coming up onto your fingertips for a half split. And it's okay if your knee stays bent. See if you can fold it forward from your hips though. And then pull your right toes up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can draw your right hips a little bit back. And then allow your upper body to soften for a moment. Take 1 more breath here. Then rebend your right knee, walk your hands forward again. Take 1 more inhale here, pressing your hips forward. And with your exhale, step it back into your downward facing dog. And take a breath here. Then with the next inhale, lift your left leg up. Bend your left knee, and then again, open your hips here, stacking your left hip on top of your right hip while keep that pressing evenly to both hands and keeping your shoulders parallel to each other. Feel that opening in your hip. 1 more inhale here. And then with your exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Lower your right knee to the ground. And then bring both of your hands on the inside of your left foot, keeping your left knee above your left ankle. And you can either stay up here for your lizard lunge, or maybe you want to bring it down onto your forearms again. And then you can either hang out here in stillness or maybe you want to add a little movement. Gently moving your hips a little bit. While keeping your breath flowing. Maybe you want to imagine that you're breathing into the stretch. Take one more breath here. Then if you're on your forearms, you can slowly come back up onto your hands. And then from here, we're going to find our half split again. So start to move your hips back. Start to straighten your left knee as much as possible while bending forward from the hips. And then you can maybe walk your hands a little bit back. Draw your left toes up towards the ceiling. And then actively pull your left hip back if possible. And then from here, allow your upper body to soften a little bit. Soften your face, your shoulders. One last breath here. And then you can re-bend your left knee again. Walk your hands back forward. Let's take one more inhale here, pressing your hips forward. And with your exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. And take a deep breath here. Then from here, you can move your knees to the ground. And then sit down onto your heels. And from here, if it feels okay, you can close your eyes for a moment. Just notice what is happening in your body right now. Maybe there's a little bit of movement happening. Maybe some areas feel a little bit more open now. Just gently notice that. And then let's take one deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Then bring your hands together in front of your heart. And bow down to thank yourself that you took this time for a little bit of self-care. Namaste.